Listen to me, beloved. I want you to understand something deep in your spirit today. There is greatness in you. There is a purpose inside of you that the world has yet to fully comprehend. You've been through the fire. You've been through the storm. And now you're rising like the eagle you were always meant to be. Resilience is the unshakable force that comes from deep within, the power that pushes you forward, even when everything around you is falling apart. It's not the absence of struggle, but the ability to rise from the ashes time and time again. It's knowing that every setback is just a setup for something greater. Resilience is the heart of a person who refuses to be defeated, who refuses to accept that their story is over because of a failure, a rejection, or a loss. Resilience is built through hardship. It is the muscle that strengthens every time you fall and get back up. It's the mindset that says, no matter how many doors are slammed in my face, I will find another way. It is the ability to stay in the fight when the fight seems impossible, when the odds are stacked against you, and when the world has counted you out. Resilience is the grit to keep moving forward, even when you're exhausted, even when you've been hurt, even when you feel like giving up. Resilience doesn't come from avoiding pain, it comes from facing it head on, walking through the storm, and emerging stronger on the other side. It is the strength to endure the seasons of drought and know that eventually the rain will come. Resilience is the ability to trust that the tears you shed today are watering the seeds of your future. It's what allows you to bounce back from disappointment, from betrayal, from loss, and still believe in tomorrow. When life knocks you down, resilience says get up when people doubt you. Resilience says keep going when the road is long and the journey seems impossible. Resilience says you can make it. Just keep putting one foot in front of the other. It's the power that whispers you are not finished yet. It's the strength to look at what's broken and know that you have the ability to rebuild, to restore, and to rise again. Resilience is not about being invincible. It's about embracing your vulnerability and using it as a weapon. It's about being knocked down and still finding the will to get up and try again. It's the understanding that no matter how many times life pushes you down, you will always get back up. Self-worth is the deep, unwavering belief in your inherent value, regardless of external circumstances, opinions, or validation from others, is knowing without a shadow of a doubt that you are deserving of love, respect, success, and happiness simply because you exist. Self-worth is not something that can be earned or achieved through accomplishments, possessions, or the approval of others. It's an internal truth that rises from within, rooted in the understanding that you are valuable just because you are you. Self-worth is the foundation upon which your life is built. When you know your worth, you refuse to settle for less than what you deserve. You don't chase after empty validation, because you already know who you are and what you bring to the table. It's not about arrogance or pride, it's about understanding your own value and honoring. When you recognize your worth, you create boundaries that protect your peace, your time, and your energy. You don't allow others to treat you in ways that diminish who you are, because you understand that your dignity and self-respect are non-negotiable. Self-worth is also about accepting all parts of yourself, the flaws, the imperfections, the mistakes, and the victories. It's understanding that you are not defined by your failures, but by your ability to rise from them, to learn, and to grow. Your worth is not based on a moment in time, a relationship, a job, or a title. It is intrinsic, eternal, and unshakable. When you truly value yourself, you stop seeking approval from others because you are no longer dependent on outside sources to affirm your value. You begin to affirm it within. Self-worth is a reflection of how you see yourself. It's about looking in the mirror and loving the person staring back at you, not because they are perfect, but because they are worthy of love and respect just as they are. It's a sense of inner peace that comes from knowing you don't need to change who you are to be loved or accepted. You are enough exactly as you are, and you no longer measure your worth against the opinions, comparisons, or standards set by others. It is also about embracing your uniqueness. Self-worth celebrates the qualities that make you different, the gifts you bring to the world, and the contributions you make that no one else can duplicate. It's not about trying to fit into a mold, but about shining in your own light unapologetically and authentically. When you recognize your self-worth, you no longer seek to dim your light to make others feel comfortable. Instead, you stand tall in your truth, knowing that your brilliance is meant to be seen. Self-worth allows you to step into your power, to live boldly, and to make decisions that align with your values, your vision, and your purpose. It's about making choices that honor your own well-being and not sacrificing yourself for the sake of others' comfort or expectations. You understand that true love, true success, and true happiness all begin from within and flow outward, and that by nurturing your own worth, you create a life that reflects that deep respect for who you are. Self-worth is a quiet confidence. It doesn't seek to prove anything to anyone because it knows it has nothing to prove. It's the silent strength that keeps you grounded when the world tries to shake you, the inner knowing that no matter what happens, you are worthy of all the good things life has to offer. It's a powerful, unshakable truth that can't be taken away by rejection, failure, or criticism because it is built on the solid foundation of who you truly are. Rejection is one of the most difficult experiences we can face. Yet it is an inevitable part of life that we all encounter at some point. It is the painful feeling of being excluded, passed over, or told that we are not enough. Rejection can come in many forms, whether it's a relationship that ends, a job opportunity that slips away, or even the disapproval of those we care about. It can shake us to our core, making us question our value, our worth, and our place in the world. But let me remind you, rejection does not define you, nor does it diminish who you are. Rejection often feels personal, but in truth, it is rarely about you. It's about the situation, the timing, or the person doing the rejecting. It's easy to internalize rejection and think, I'm not good enough, or there's something wrong with me. But the reality is sometimes rejection has less to do with your abilities or qualities and more to do with other people's perceptions, needs, or circumstances. People reject what they don't understand, or they may pass on something because they are not yet ready to recognize your value. Rejection is a reflection of someone else's limitations, not yours. What makes rejection so painful is the feeling of being overlooked or unappreciated. It strikes at our deepest fears, the fear of not being loved, the fear of not being chosen, the fear of being left behind. But what rejection often teaches us is the power of resilience and self-awareness. It shows us where we need to grow, how we can improve, and what we may need to let go of. Rejection is not the end of the road, it is merely a detour. A moment that asks you to pause, reflect, and realign your path. Rejection can also be a redirection. It can be the universe's way of pushing you towards something better, something more aligned with your true purpose. Sometimes the doors that close are not the doors that were meant for you. And though it may hurt in the moment, you will soon see that what was lost was simply making room for what you truly deserve. Not every opportunity, relationship, or circumstance is part of your destiny, and rejection is often the first step toward finding the one that is. But rejection is not just about external circumstances, it's about how you respond to it. It is an invitation to dig deeper into who you are, to look beyond the surface and recognize your inherent value. It calls you to stand firm in your worth and let the judgment or opinions of others shape your self-image. When you face rejection, it challenges you to reaffirm your own belief in yourself, to rise above the hurt, and to remind yourself that your worth is not determined by whether or not someone else chooses you. Rejection can also be a test of your resilience. It's easy to feel defeated when we are turned away, but true strength lies in your ability to rise again. You have to be able to look rejection in the eye, face the discomfort, and keep moving forward with your head held high. Each rejection teaches you how to bounce back stronger, to be more determined, and to trust that every no brings you one step closer to a yes that aligns with your purpose. At its core, rejection is an opportunity for growth. It challenges you to look within, to become stronger, more confident, and more self-aware. It asks you to embrace the discomfort and use it as fuel to propel yourself forward. It teaches you that rejection is not the end of the story, it is just another chapter in your journey towards success, fulfillment, and the realization of your dreams. Rejection is painful, but it does not have the final word. It does not determine your future, nor does it define your potential. What matters most is how you rise from it, how you take the lessons from it, and how you use it to strengthen your belief in yourself. Empowerment is the act of giving yourself permission to step into your own strength, to claim your voice, and to take control of your life and your choices. It is the realization that you are the author of your own story, that you have the ability to shape your future and overcome any obstacles that stand in your way. Empowerment is not just about gaining external power, it's about the internal shift that happens when you recognize that you are enough, that you have the ability, and that you are worthy of every opportunity that comes your way. Empowerment begins with self-belief. It starts when you stop waiting for someone else to give you permission to succeed, to love yourself, or to go after your dreams. When you empower yourself, you take responsibility for your own happiness, your own success, and your own well-being. You stop seeking approval from others because you have already approved of yourself. You know that your worth is not determined by external validation, but by the unwavering belief in who you are and what you bring to the table. Empowerment is also about breaking free from the limitations that others have tried to impose on you or the ones you've imposed on yourself. It is about shedding the old beliefs and patterns that have kept you stuck in fear, doubt, and insecurity. It is the decision to let go of what no longer serves you, whether it's toxic relationships, negative self-talk, or outdated beliefs about your capabilities. Empowerment is the strength to let go of the past and to step into your future with confidence, knowing that you have everything you need within you to thrive. When you embrace empowerment, you stop playing small. You recognize that you have the potential to achieve anything you set your mind to. You are no longer limited by the opinions of others or by the constraints of your circumstances. Empowerment is the courage to step outside your comfort zone, to take risks, and to go after what you truly want, even when the path is uncertain or daunting. It's about trusting yourself to make the right decisions, even when there are no guarantees. Empowerment also means giving yourself permission to fail. It's the understanding that failure is not a reflection of your worth, but a part of the journey. Empowerment is knowing that every setback is an opportunity to learn, to grow, and to become stronger. When you empower yourself, you stop fearing failure because you know that every failure brings you closer to success. It's the courage to try, to stumble, to rise again, and to keep moving forward with even greater determination. Empowerment is the ability to set boundaries that protect your energy, your time, and your peace. It's the strength to say no to things that drain you or hold you back, and to say yes to what uplifts you, what nourishes you, and what aligns with your values. It's about knowing your worth so deeply that you will no longer tolerate anything that diminishes you. When you are empowered, you become unapologetically protective of your space, your time, and your well-being. Empowerment is also about lifting others as you rise. It's the understanding that true empowerment is not a solo journey. As you step into your own power, you naturally create space for others to do the same. Empowerment is about recognizing that we are all connected, and when one person rises, we all rise. It's about creating a ripple effect where your confidence and strength inspire those around you to step into their own power as well. Empowerment is not about competition, it's about collaboration and creating a world where everyone can thrive. Empowerment is the energy that propels you forward when everything else seems to be pulling you back. It's the fire that burns inside of you, reminding you that no matter the obstacles, no matter the opposition, you are capable of overcoming it. It's the knowing that in every situation, you have a choice. You have the power to change your story, to rewrite your narrative, and to create a life that reflects your deepest desires and truest potential. Empowerment is the freedom to be yourself unapologetically. It's the confidence to walk into a room and own your space, to express yourself without fear of judgment, and to speak your truth with clarity and conviction. It's the unshakable belief that you have the right to live the life you desire and that you have the strength to make it happen. Empowerment is the force that transforms dreams into reality, challenges into triumphs, and obstacles into stepping stones. It is the quiet power that emanates from within and moves the world around you. Transformation is not simply a change, it is a radical shift, a profound metamorphosis that happens at the core of who you are. It is the process of evolving from one state of being to another, a journey of growth, discovery, and renewal. Transformation happens when you decide to break free from the limitations of your past, to shed the old version of yourself, and to step into a new level of potential. It is the act of becoming more of who you are meant to be, fully stepping into your purpose and embracing the power within you to create change in your life. Transformation often begins with discomfort. It's the moment where the old ways of living no longer serve you, and you feel the pull of something greater, something deeper. It's when you look around and realize that the life you've been living no longer aligns with the vision you hold for yourself. The life that once felt secure, predictable, and safe starts to feel stifling, like it's holding you back from the fullness of your potential. This is where transformation begins, in the space between what was and what could be. It's the point where you can no longer remain where you are because you are being called forward to something higher, something more authentic. Transformation requires a willingness to let go. It asks you to release old identities, outdated beliefs, and limiting habits that have kept you stuck in the past. It challenges you to examine the stories you've told yourself about who you are, about what is possible for you, and about what you deserve. Transformation is about shedding the layers of fear, doubt, and insecurity that have been built over the years and stepping into a place of radical self-acceptance. It is about recognizing that you are not defined by your past mistakes, your failures, or the labels others have placed on you. Transformation calls you to embrace the fullness of your potential and step into the version of yourself that you were always meant to be. Transformation is not always a linear process. It is messy, unpredictable, and sometimes even painful. There are moments when you may feel as though you are falling apart, when the foundation you once stood on seems to crumble beneath you. But what you must understand is that in these moments of breakdown, you are actually experiencing the breakthrough. It is only when the old self is dismantled that the new can emerge. Transformation happens when you are willing to face the parts of yourself you've avoided, to confront your fears, and to move through the discomfort of growth. It requires courage, the courage to change, to evolve, and to risk stepping into the unknown. Transformation also demands action. It's not enough to simply wish for change. Transformation happens when you make intentional, consistent efforts to create the life you envision. It requires you to take responsibility for your own growth, to make decisions that align with your values, and to take the steps necessary to turn your dreams into reality. Transformation doesn't happen by accident. It happens when you choose it, when you commit to doing the work, when you make the decision to show up for yourself, even on the days when it feels hard. At its core, transformation is about embracing possibility. It is the understanding that no matter where you've been, no matter what you've been through, you have the power to create a new beginning. Transformation is a belief that no situation, no circumstance, no setback is permanent. It's the understanding that you are not a fixed entity, but a fluid being capable of reinvention and renewal at any stage of life. It is the knowledge that you are never too old, too broken, or too far gone to change. Transformation is also a process of alignment. It's the journey of bringing your outer world into harmony with your inner truth. When you transform, you stop living a life that is dictated by external expectations, fears, or limitations. You start living authentically in alignment with your true self, your values, and your highest purpose. Transformation is about syncing your actions, thoughts, and intentions so that you are in harmony with who you are at the deepest level. It is about stepping into a place of inner peace, confidence, and self-trust where you are no longer seeking approval from the outside world, but are driven by the wisdom and guidance that come from within. Transformation requires patience. The process of changing, growing, and evolving takes time, and there are no shortcuts. It's easy to become discouraged when progress seems slow or when the results aren't immediately visible. But true transformation is not about instant gratification. It's about consistent growth, small steps taken over time, and the willingness to keep moving forward, even when you don't yet see the full picture. Each small change you make, each habit you shift, each mindset you change contributes to the larger process of transformation, even when you can't immediately see the results. True transformation is not just about changing your circumstances, it's about changing your mindset. It's about shifting the way you see yourself, your life, and your potential. It's about opening your eyes to the limitless possibilities that exist for you and recognizing that you are the creator of your own reality. Transformation is about stepping into your own power, owning your truth, and creating a life that reflects your deepest desires and your truest self. It's the process of becoming the person you were always meant to be, unafraid and unapologetic in your pursuit of happiness, success, and fulfillment.